From the Zimmer Radio Network headquarters, it's your morning addiction.
To give health care to illegal aliens again.
Wake Up Missouri with Stephanie Bell.
Raised by a good family, a good girl.
The Zimmer News Team.
If you didn't do your job in business, you didn't get paid.
And now introducing your host, Randy Tobler.
I'm not Randy Tobler. My name is Peter Thiel. And Jennifer Bukowski will be here. It is Wake Up Missouri. Jennifer's going to be in for Stephanie. I'm in for Randy. We got Drake Whitman. We got the man himself, Marsh, John Marsh, in the house.
In the house.
And so life's good. Life's good. A heck of a Sunday night football game.
Yeah, boy.
And as it should be, the New England Patriots knock off the hated Buffalo Bills.
Are we going to have a fight before 6:10, Peter? Is that what's going on?
You know what? Bring it on. I may be short and fat and bald, but I could take... I would just tackle you and then just pummel the hell out of you. So bring it. Jennifer Bukowski's here. The woman, the myth, the legend. And there you go. And she has... a sombrero and some cucarachas at her desk.
Because it's the funniest shutdown ever.
Yes. It's good times, had by all. Chiefs play tonight, Monday Night Football. It's the Chiefs, which were 2 games out of first place, can actually be tied for first place with a win tonight. Jacksonville, this is a game the Chiefs should win. Jacksonville's better than they were, so there you go.
Stay tuned.
We'll be on top of that. Yep. Mark Sanchez apparently got into kind of a bar fight and got stabbed and arrested in his hospital bed.
I saw that.
Did you see pictures of the guy he beat that stabbed him? Oh my God.
Was he a big guy?
No, a 70-year-old. And this guy is messed up.
Man.
And so there you go. It is, and again, Mark Sanchez. I was in.
He's a retired football player, right?
Yeah, he also does commentary on TV, a lot of different stuff. He played for the New York Jets, among Dallas Cowboys, among other teams. I was in New York when he was the quarterback of the Jets. That's when I lived there. He did not have a reputation as a guy who got into trouble in the bars. His problem was he had lots and lots of pretty girls that he was dating. His dating life was actually getting in the way of his football career.
Such a burden. Such a
really
burden for him, yeah.
I
bet all the guys just felt sorry for him.
Yeah, poor guy. And that poor feller. And so he went from there, but he had no reputation as being a guy who was out partying. But apparently, from all reports, he had gotten himself liquored up. And my concern is that he's totally innocent and that he got roofied in the bar. Someone slipped something in his drink because his behavior outside of the bar, apparently as the bar was closing, he was behind the bar doing wind sprints.
Yeah, that sounds like not just alcohol alone. Yeah, possibly. I don't know.
And I want to give him the benefit of the doubt because if you're a professional football player and you're getting legal trouble, somebody's got to be on your side, and that's what I'm about. That's what I'm here for.
That's usually what I'm here for. We're going to double up. We're
going to double up on protecting. The guy got messed up pretty good. So, and again.
Guys are actually way more susceptible to that than they know, getting dosed.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be roofies. It could be like a Xanax or something just ground up and slipped into your drink. And then you'll be compliant, and they know that you'll have no memory of what happened.
Correct.
So if they get you like blitz like that, all of a sudden you're buying everyone drinks. All of a sudden you don't have a wallet when you get home, or you wake up somewhere without your shoes that you didn't remember how you got there.
No, it's
acting strangely, and they do it for robbery more than sexual. They don't do it to rape guys like they do the girls. But they do it to steal from him for sure. When someone like that, he probably has some flashy jewelry.
And one would think at this point he is not going around with it, but who knows?
Yeah, or a Rolex, whatever. I think Rolexes are targets to get dosed. for sure. I'd be reluctant if I were a guy and to go out drinking with a Rolex on.
So my former wife was originally from Mexico. We traveled to Mexico a lot. Here's how we traveled to Mexico.
With sombreros?
Maracas? Wearing some...
maracas? A little mariachi band?
Yeah, we did that. Well, the one thing we did, especially for me being the gringo, I dressed down. Seriously dressed down.
Because you didn't want to be a target for theft?
Correct.
Huh.
So if we were doing nice stuff, it would be in the luggage. But generally speaking, I traveled in, I had a Mexico soccer jersey.
Huh.
I wore that with shorts or jeans, just depending on the time of year. And I dressed down, and I never kept money in my pocket. We'd get stopped occasionally at roadblocks. They have roadblocks throughout Mexico if you drive it.
Yeah.
And the first thing they would have me do, being the gringos, empty my pockets. And there was nothing in it.
Huh.
I did that on purpose.
That's so crooked.
Yeah, so it's...
when I go to Europe or travel abroad, I don't like to carry bags with, like, labels, like a Louis Vuitton bag or something like that. I carry bags that, are more nondescript just because I don't want to make myself a target.
Yeah, you have to, if you do any type of foreign travel, especially if you go to a third world nation and you go to a place like that, do not dress well. Dress down. T-shirt, jeans. That's a strong
I don't know about
fashion
dressing
choice.
Down, but
would you want to be a target or not? You go to...
I'm not wearing labels, but you also want to be like treated with respect when you're checking into your hotel, when you're dealing with travel, when you're dealing with tour guides and trying to get into different places or being seated well at restaurants. It just always makes a difference to dress.
And that's a different animal. When you go out to dinner or something, you're going to a nice restaurant, yes, being dressed up. I'm talking about the travel and being on the streets.
Huh.
Oh, yeah.
Down.
I mean, Peter can relate. Anybody who's been south of the border knows the soborno, see? The bribe. I mean, that's... Policia will ask you for soborno, por favor.
So, yeah,
goes.
Yeah, it's... You just have to, understand and know some elementary Spanish, like, ¿Dónde es baño? Cerveza, por favor. Tequila, por favor. You say stuff like that and you're in business.
There you
go. Get me to the bathroom, get me booze. It's like a win-win if you're in Latin America, anywhere. So there you go. Big helpful hint, as I'm here to help America. It's Jennifer Bukowski. My name is Peter Thiels, Wake Up Missouri. We are in for Randy Tobler and Stephanie Bell. And by the way, if you are not subscribed to the Wake Up Missouri YouTube channel, do so now. Subscribe to it. And you'll be able to see, well, today you get to see Jennifer and Peter. Jennifer's nice to look at. For me, hit and miss.
Hey, don't plug that till I get to do my makeup over the break. It was too dark to do it in the car on the way here.
Well, you shouldn't be doing makeup while driving down the highway, reading your Harlequin romance novel.
Harlequin. How old are you?
Okay, which romance novel are you reading?
Fabio. I don't know. Fabio, how old are you? John Marsh. I barely know who these people. Fabio was actually just on. I just saw him being interviewed somewhere talking about how bad it's gotten in Italy. And he was still very fine looking. I'm like, I need to know who Fabio's doctors are because that guy looks the same he did 25 years ago.
Well, here's the deal is that these celebrities, is that it's not only just their doctors, it's not just little nips and tucks. They have, a nutritionist that keep them eating the right stuff. It's eating, it's...
personal coaches, so they're keeping their bodies in shape. But his face is still... from what I saw the other day, I was like, wow, you can see why they put him on the covers of books.
It's, you see, so there you go. Now you know the little secret of that. Also coming up today at 7:05, or actually about 7:08, we'll have our good friend Scott Vaughn on, and we'll see what's going on at Jeff City as they're getting ready to figure out how not to cut our taxes more.
Stay tuned for that one as well.
Which is a heck of a deal. This weekend, again, it's just
Alabama. It's huge.
Yeah, Roll Tide beating Vandy.
Yeah, so
coming weekend we
all
get
eyes
Mizzou,
are going to be on us.
Yes.
And then later this month we have to go to Vandy. But yeah, it's going to be huge. If Mizzou could win this game Saturday, what a big deal that would be. We would shoot up the rankings, I think. What do you think, John? How would that send us up the rankings, or Drake? You guys are
a little bit, but no respect for the.
What did we get?
Missouri
We got
Tigers.
Like 18 or something for
19th
the coach.
at last check, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in the coaches poll.
We are 14 right now in the AP poll, but I mean, I could see us winning and losing a rank, honestly, with how the AP poll sometimes gets it wrong.
It's
really? Even if we beat Alabama, I would think that would make us go to single digits.
Well, we're not respected.
Well, we need to.
Respect.
How do we get rid of the people that do these polls, or get more represent? It sounds like we're lacking some due process. It sounds like some inequitable treatment. Who do I sue?
Well, you see, Jennifer, at least you know the whole thing about the lawsuit filing stuff. I look at it.
There's been plenty of that this weekend. This weekend was wild. Prepping for my show on Sunday, it was hard to go to bed because so much kept unfolding all weekend with the different ICE protests, the different lawsuits, the shutdown. It's just the possible peace breaking out in Israel. There's so much to keep one up. I was afraid I was going to miss something if I went to bed.
So it's the Roll Tiders are going to go down. Mizzou, by the way, if you look at the top teams, most of them are just these blue blood programs for the most part. That's some of the stuff Mizzou's going to have to fight against. You are listening to Wake Up Missouri. Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiel. Coming up, Washington, D.C. Rundown with our boy John Marsh right here on Wake Up Missouri.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
Missouri. Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiel in for Randy Tobler and Stephanie Bell. John Marsh is here. He represents himself. And Drake Whitman is here, and we have no idea who he represents, and quite frankly, don't want to know. It is time now on Wake Up Missouri for the D.C. Rundown.
Congressional leaders traded blame for the government shutdown yesterday as the stalemate over how to reopen the government stretched into another week without any progress. Senate set to reconvene today after dueling measures to fund the government fell short of the necessary support for a fourth time on Friday, so we'll see what happens. Federal judge late yesterday temporarily blocked the Trump administration from deploying any National Guard units to Oregon, that after the legal whirlwind that began hours earlier when the president mobilized California troops for Portland after the same judge blocked him from using Oregon's National Guard the day before. Cautious hope for a ceasefire to end the war in Gaza and secure the release of the remaining hostages building as Israel and Hamas prepare to enter indirect negotiations with Egypt, so we'll see where it all goes.
Well, I think that's great. John Marsh, everybody, DC Rundown. It's all sorts of good things going on there. I'm all in on the government shutdown. I think that Trump did the absolute right thing where he basically said, well, some of these employees may never come back.
I enjoyed that part of it.
I loved it.
And I've been, ever since I spoke at a Republican thing last week, and it's been helpful. I just go to whitehouse.gov, and I see, is the shutdown still going on? And right now it says Democrats have shut down the government 5 days, 7 hours, 26 minutes, and 51 seconds. Although they'll have to figure out something about the 15th. Otherwise, the troops won't get paid. But it's only October 6th, so they've got some wiggle room right now.
Seems like, though, the Democrats are entrenched on keeping the government closed. And there has to be a real discussion here. The problem with the Democrats is that they want all or nothing. And generally speaking, in politics, if you want all or nothing, you get nothing. And that's the Democrats need to come to the table saying, okay, let's be realistic. It's a negotiation. There are 7 votes in the Senate to get this done. The Democrats probably can get a bone thrown to them. I don't like it. You don't like it. But that's how it works. That's how our form of government works. Go in, do this. But the Democrats are coming in with this all or nothing type of deal. And when you're in for all or nothing, you get nothing. It just is the case. So I'll be watching that very carefully as it goes on. It seems like very few Democrats have any common sense left. And then there's Virginia.
Oh, boy. Virginia's got some problems. Did you see the AG candidate?
Yes, threatened to kill people and children. Yes.
No, he just fantasized about...
Well, it's a fantasy.
About shooting the former Virginia GOP speaker if he had 2 bullets, and there was Hitler, Pol Pot, and this former GOP speaker.
God help
He
us.
would shoot the Speaker of the Virginia House twice in the head. And then he goes on, and he's texting, by the way, a fellow state rep who is a Republican. And she's like, Jay, stop. And then they get on the phone, and then they have more text exchange where he's like, no, she's like, you were talking about hoping her kids would die. Like, what is wrong with this guy?
Now, I have a Democrat friend of mine right after I did something kind of impolite. You want to hear something that's kind of like edgy and clickbaity that I did on X at the time and I ended up deleting? I didn't fantasize about killing anybody, of course. I did fantasize about the idea when Rosalind Carter died to go, which influencer does Jimmy marry next?
Oh, was she an influencer?
No. Jimmy marrying the former president, getting remarried to an Instagram influencer.
I don't get it.
Like Bill Belichick and who he's dating.
Yeah.
Speaking of Belichick, his girlfriend was chastising the commissioner of the ACC on the sideline.
She's not a shy girl, is she?
No, she is not. Not at all. You're listening to Wake Up Missouri. We'll talk about that at 6:36. Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiel in for Brandy and Stephanie. Wake Up Missouri. My name is Peter Thiel. We're alongside the wonderful and talented Jennifer Bukowski. We got John Marsh here, Drake Whitman in for Stephanie Bell, and Randy Tobler, everybody. Yeah, so a couple of notes here as we go through and we look at this, what's going on in our society, and we truly are going to hell in a handbasket. The girlfriend of Bill Belichick is busy telling, she's 24, by the way, or maybe 23. She keeps getting a little bit younger. She was busy telling the commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, at Saturday's game. She was letting him have it, telling him what's going on. And she's 24. Okay, very good. And so they've been dating, about 3 years, and she's been about 24 the entire time. So
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's I haven't quite figured that whole out. Am I right on the timeline here, Marsh, right?
That sounds about right, yeah.
Yes.
And that she has been 24 for 3 years.
It just seems weird to me. Is that the only coach's wife or girlfriend, what they like to call a wag, is that's busy telling, ACC or SEC commissioners what to do?
It couldn't be. I don't know. I mean, I've been in enough kid sporting events to hear plenty of moms weighing in on what the refs are doing wrong, what the coaches are doing wrong. I'm sure there's been bossy women involved somewhere, but I don't know about the coach. I've never really seen the coach's significant other getting involved like that. Just the parents.
And apparently she
and
shows
usually
up
that's being muttered or yelled, not
and
directly
apparently
confronted.
Between classes, she shows up to practices.
Well, she's pretty wise. She was, it looks like 6 months old on 9/11.
Yeah. Well, Bill's able to explain that to her. Here's what happened on 9/11.
She was a cheerleader.
Yeah, that's good. That
automatically qualifies her to scold them and know more about football than they do.
So, the left's violence is something that we have seen a lot of. We had 2 assassination attempts on Donald Trump. We had the assassination of Charlie Kirk. We've had
shootings at ICE.
Yeah, shootings at ICE.
Attacks, on the facilities of ICE.
Correct. And so the Attorney General candidate in Virginia, fantasized about killing Republicans. One Republican in particular. Yeah, if you wake up and your first fantasy is violence against somebody because you don't agree with them politically or religiously or whatever that may be, that's a sign that you probably should not be the Attorney General of any state in the nation. The job of the Attorney General is to basically go and follow the state's laws and to defend the state's laws. Essentially, one of the big roles of that, or the U.S. government's laws. That's the rules. And we now have people that are going in, and we've seen this with President Trump, where people use lawfare to go after their political opponents. That's not what this is about. The idea that you can go and prosecute your political opponents is problematic, and we've seen that a lot with the Democrats. They went after Trump. They put 2 of his associates in jail, and Steve Bannon and Peter Navarro, for contempt of Congress. No one's gone to jail for contempt of Congress. There have been a billion people, not a billion, but there's a lot of people.
Steve Bannon went to jail for contempt of Congress.
Peter Navarro did too.
Yeah.
And the Democrats went after him, put them in jail. I venture to remember there was an Attorney General of the United States who was found in contempt of Congress, a guy named Eric Holder. And Eric Holder did not go to jail. He was not prosecuted and sent to jail.
Well, who would have prosecuted him? Himself? That was the problem there.
Well, the next attorney general could have done it. And so
depending on the statute of limitations.
Depending on the statute of limitations, correct. So we do not do, but this is where we've gone in. The Democrats want to throw Republicans in jail. They're a very violent group of people. You look at what happened last week. You had that Latter-day Saints church that got someone drove in, killed a couple of their members, burned down the place. And those wonderful people, and I'm not a Latter-day Saints person, they raised money for this guy's wife and child.
Wow.
They raised $60,000 to help the perpetrator's wife and child.
I think he was a former member or something, and that was more targeted on. But he wasn't a leftist, though.
No, he was in love, apparently, with a Mormon girl at some point. They broke up, and apparently he never got over it.
Huh.
And so he lived in Utah for a period, and even though he'd moved on, got married, had a kid, apparently he was pining for a nice Mormon girl, and which is not good. I'm going to give you a little marital advice. Can I give marital advice? Is that okay?
I don't know if you're qualified to, but go ahead, give it a shot.
Been married, so he can give marital advice, I'd say.
Never tell your significant other that you still have big feelings for a previous love.
Yeah.
They don't like that. They don't like that at all.
That's just common sense.
That's just common sense.
If you have to be told that, you're probably already having other problems in your marriage.
And here's the other thing.
Honey, I know I said I do to you, but I'm still really, if my ex-boyfriend from high school ever divorces his wife, I'm out of here. Because I have big feelings for him. That's never going to go well.
No, you don't want to hear that. It's that's just not a thing you want to hear. I have a buddy of mine who has been married a couple of times, and all the women look exactly the same. I mean, it's just uncanny. And he told the first wife that he was attracted to her because she reminded him of his high school girlfriend. That marriage ended. He married a woman almost looked exactly like those two. I said to him, we were out having a beer at some point. I'm going, dude, change it up. I know you're attracted and you find blondes with dimples your deal, and apple cheeks. That's your thing. But keep dating women and marrying women that look the same. You're asking for trouble. Find somebody who looks different.
Well, maybe he knows what he likes. I know of someone where, there's been multiple family pictures and with two formers and all the same coloring, same looks. Definitely has a type.
Yeah.
It happens more often than not.
Yeah.
It's and I understand it's the sex drive and the laws of attraction are a very strong thing. Very, very strong all the way around. But just as a helpful hint, that's something for you to go out and do. So these Democrats, when you compare your political opponent, a guy named Todd, how can you hate someone named Todd?
Oh, I could hate someone named Todd. That sounds like someone you could hate.
Really?
Yeah. Todd sounds like he could be a jerk. Could be a good guy. Could be, good Republican guy. But, yeah, also sounds like someone who could be a jerk.
Marsh, come down to it. When you hear the name Todd, you automatically have hate in your heart, like Jennifer.
Okay, Todd.
I think of lawmakers named Todd who were in the news at one point in time.
Yeah, in Missouri?
Yeah.
Who had to resign? Nothing against him personally. I would hate him or anything.
But that's who I think of when I hear Todd.
So, yeah.
Well, I think of Christmas Vacation. Isn't it Margot and Todd? where they're like the yuppies next door.
Yes, it should be Margot and Todd. That sounds like yuppies.
She's saying, Todd, why is the floor wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. You know that scene?
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what? And every time I see the name Margot, I always want to add the T on. But I know if you say Margot, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work at all. It's in fact, try that. You meet a woman and you see her name tag, Margot, how are you? It doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. Little thumbs up. So it'll be interesting. Now in the state of Virginia, everything's in play. Republicans or governors can only serve one term. So Glenn Youngkin is term limited out. And so it's Winsome Sears. She's the lieutenant governor. She is running for governor of that state and has been about 10 points behind in the polls. Now the Democrats are reeling because they don't know what to do.
Well, it's the attorney general candidate who is in trouble for these text messages.
Well, apparently, though, the gubernatorial candidate, she has gone on saying that he's one of the greatest people who ever lived. Something to that effect. And
really?
Yeah. So it's, believe me, there's an opportunity there. Coming up, make Missouri healthy again. I have tips that Randy Tobler would not agree with.
Oh, well, that'll be
even better.
Great advice to follow there.
That's coming up. Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiels, Wake Up Missouri, John Marsh, producer Drake. That comes up at 6:52 right here on Wake Up Missouri.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
Again, not with Randy Tobler. You got Jennifer Bukowski. I'm Peter Thiel. John Marsh is here on Wake Up Missouri. Yeah. Gary Nolan, by the way, coming up at 9 o'clock today. I'm going to give you my Make Missouri Healthy tip of the day. I'm not a medical doctor. Do not pretend to be a medical doctor. And quite frankly, should you take advice from me? Maybe, maybe not. Here's what you need to get. Get on your phone right now. There's called an app, free app called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. And that lets you know about the additives that are in your foods. So when you're at the grocery store and you get prepackaged foods, which we all do probably way more than we should, you can go and scan it. Now, my sister, I got this from our buddy down the hall, Shags, and because he's Captain Healthy, and he was telling me about it, and I said, what is it again? And I downloaded it. So you go to the grocery store and you sort of click, and it lets you know if it's lousy or it's good based on the amount of artificial additives into the food item. So my sister's big into, because it's healthier, you know, that turkey sausage with the eggs. Do you like turkey sausage, Jennifer?
I like turkey hot dogs better than beef hot dogs, but I like pork sausage.
Okay. So there's a turkey one that's relatively popular, and so I went and I scanned it. It scored a 0 out of 100 because it has so many additives. So I, of course, trolled my sister.
And they don't have that much protein in them either, actually.
No. It's they taste good, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And so you can go through the items, and I have found some items that I had a lot of additives, so I skip them now. I found that stuff that does not have a lot of additives, I buy those. Anything that's in the good or excellent, that's what I pick up. And that's my do-gooder thing and tip for the day. The app is called Yuka, Y-U-K-A. Totally free to download at your various app stores, and I think it's slick. I think it's slick all the way around.
It's good because, you know, we have, with the Maha movement, we have more focus on what are we putting into our bodies. I'm like, great, right? As my kids are big enough teens that I can't control what they eat anymore, after I fed them all this junk, now you're telling me this stuff.
Yeah, and now here's the thing that also happens. So Jennifer comes in today. She reaches into her purse and starts handing out Milky Ways.
I got to get these out of my house or I'll eat them.
And so there you go. And Jennifer, of course, is very thin because she plays lots of pickleball.
That's right.
Yep.
So it's all good. Chiefs on Monday Night Football tonight, taking on the hated Jacksonville Jaguars.
Do we hate them?
Semi-hated.
Well,
who hates them? I don't really think much about them.
If you're the opponent of the Chiefs, I hate you.
Oh, okay.
That's I think
that's fair.
Yeah. And I think that makes all the sense in the world. So we will we'll go through, watch that game tonight. I am very excited about it. It's you'll be able to enjoy the game on in Columbia on KCMQ and in Jefferson City on KWOS, which carries, of course, Wake Up Missouri, your Wake Up Missouri and Kansas City Chiefs station. And so we look forward to that very, very much. And I'll be set up. Do you guys have game day food
for tonight? You
yes.
know, we haven't been as into the Chiefs this year. I guess we got too spoiled by them the last few years.
So it's you don't have a lucky. I have a buddy of mine who drinks to excess with watching every Chiefs game. He drinks Captain Morgan and Diet Cherry Coke.
Whoa,
well, that's healthier than the cocktail that those guys that froze to death outside were drinking. Remember that?
Yeah.
They were doing drugs, and then they found them frozen in the backyard.
That doesn't seem like a good way to go. Yeah, no. During a playoff game.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go in the backyard. Kind of hot. And just go sit out there at 5 below or whatever the hell it was.
It's one thing to get frostbite when you're at the game in Minnesota or somewhere like that, or up at Lambeau.
Or Kansas City. I was freezing my butt off one game like a year or two ago.
That playoff game with the Dolphins. That was what was 10 below or something like this. It was ridiculously cold. And that was the game where the people died in the guy's backyard.
Yep. Crazy.
No one has died in my yard watching a football game. It's put that in your bucket list. 7:08. Scott Vaughn will be with us. That's exclusively on Wake Up Missouri. Jennifer Bukowski, John Marsh, I'm Peter Thiel, right here on the Love Network, the Zimmer Radio Network.
From the Zimmer Radio Network headquarters, it's your morning addiction.
To give health care to illegal aliens again.
Wake Up Missouri with Stephanie Bell.
Raised by a good family, a good girl.
The Zimmer News Team.
If you didn't do your job in business, you didn't get paid.
And now introducing your host, Randy Tobler.
And there's no Randy Tobler today. You get Peter Thiel, Jennifer Bukowski, John Marsh. No Stephanie Bell either. But you get Jennifer, Marsh, and Thiel. I mean, and producer Drake. How much can that get any better?
Can't ask for much more.
Yeah, well, you can get a little bit better. Scott Vaughn is with us. He's with the Mo Times. What's going on, Scott?
Enjoying the energy on a Monday. I love it.
You see, that's how it goes. So there's lots of stuff going on. It's obviously one of the things having to do in Missouri is having to do with that map. And lawsuits filed all over the place. And there's petitions going on throughout the state.
Yeah, Scott, you weren't really a fan of doing redistricting, were you? Are you going to be signing this referendum petition to put the new congressional map on the ballot?
You know, I'm not. I just don't like things that come from Washington and get forced down our throat. I'm just a Missouri, and you got to show me. And I'm a little suspect of the federal government, if you want the truth, no matter who's in office. I thought I would love to see an 8-0. I've always been a Republican. I just think it might be the move to convince people and not try to rig the game. This is what happened to the pro-life cause. They quit trying to persuade anyone to be pro-life. They started screaming at each other and trying to rig the game in their favor. When you stop persuading people and start focusing on these little process things, it's usually a bad sign. I thought it was a shoddy process, shoddily done. I think I was on here one day, Jim, when you were filling in, and I said from the beginning, this is a Washington product done for Washington people with no one in Missouri in mind. And I think every single thing that's happened with this whole process has proved, well, you know, I'm not the one to say I told you so, but actually I am the one to say I told you so.
It's Wake Up Missouri. It's Jennifer Bukowski filling in for Stephanie Bell, talking to Scott Vaughn from the Missouri Times. Scott, the DNC is involved with gathering signatures to put this map on the ballot so that we wouldn't have a new map for midterms, that we'd have to vote on it first. So are you going to sign this referendum petition then?
I don't know. I think it'd be fine for the folks to vote. I mean, it might require Republicans to, oh my God, actually go talk to someone and convince them of something instead of just screaming at each other. I don't think it's a bad thing at all to put it on the ballot. Good for them. Let's see what happens. I mean, I don't fear the voters. I think, you know, getting their input on things is a good thing. And I think, you know, even if you don't like it, it might show some weaknesses in your argument or some places where you could do a little bit better job. I have no problem with the citizens' veto. I think it's a very good thing the state has. And also, Jennifer, I mean, I guess here's where I'm old enough to remember. Republicans haven't always ran everything at every level. And if I had to guess, they won't always. The citizen veto could be something that's very handy to the Republicans one day if they find themselves out of power. So I don't mind the citizens veto. I think it's possible they put a precinct in 2 districts. I think that this was a shoddy process done shoddily.
Actually, the latest lawsuit, which, you know, is filed by Andy Hurth and the Elias Group out of D.C., doesn't raise that claim because I don't think that claim is correct, that they put 1 precinct into both congressional districts 4 and 5.
Well, I'll give you a prediction. I don't think this map gets tossed by the courts for any reason except unless there is that precinct in Kansas City in 2 districts. If
yeah, and that didn't. The latest one by credible attorneys didn't raise that claim, which I think gives credence to the arguments that the Democrats on the other 2 lawsuits were misreading or misunderstanding the map.
You would know much more about that.
When I saw that double
do.
precinct thing, I was like, what? Because that would be a big problem, but I don't think that actually is an issue. So the compactness argument.
That's the only reason this is bounced by the courts, I think.
I think so.
May very well bounce it, but that's the only reason the courts kick it out.
Scott Vaughn is with us, Missouri Times. It is Wake Up Missouri. Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiel, John Marsh. Scott, I look at this and look at this whole process as an example for Governor Kehoe to take on the leadership of this state. You look at what Donald Trump did. He just called Kehoe, said, get this done. It got done. And the legislature, they've been playing a lot of Mickey Mouse games. They do these procedural things where conservative things do not get done. I think it was a perfect example to show the governor, this is how you run your legislature, and it will happen.
Oh, I don't know about that, Peter. Kehoe decided, like it was Missourians that had to decide to call a special session, to vote on the map, everything else. The Missourians were involved the entire time with doing it.
The Missourians were no way involved. The Missourians were involved when they actually drew the map 3 years ago. That was a Missouri map. This was an order from Washington. Again, look, a 7-1 map would be great. That's a fine thing. I mean, I'm not opposed to having. I'm not opposed.
Missourians
to
were involved, they were using like 7-1 maps that we came up with before.
Yeah, and it failed miserably. Donald Trump sent this map. His political staff sent it here.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
Is
you don't know that?
It as is. Jennifer, nothing came of this until Donald Trump said. And look, here's the thing.
Well,
Donald
it really
Trump
emanated
won
from
the state overwhelmingly.
It came from a
You're
Fifth
telling
Amendment.
me that someone in Missouri had this idea. Why did Donald Trump have to put – Donald Trump called the special session himself. He didn't let the governor do it. He put out a tweet that said, you pass this map as is. And what they do, Jennifer, they pass this map perfectly as is. Now,
Good.
I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's just the truth.
Well, it came from a big Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals decision down in Texas is what got this ball rolling. Where they're saying,
I'm sorry, what Texas County, Missouri, or you're again?
No,
Missouri. Yeah. Jennifer, I love you to death. There was nothing about this that was done in Missouri except rubber stamped.
Well,
and again, I'm not sure
Kehoe
that's a bad
called the
thing,
special
but that's just
session.
the truth.
Kehoe called the
After he was
special
told
session.
to.
Yeah, so that was done in Missouri though, and then the Missourians voted on it.
The rubber stamping was done in Missouri. Nothing else was. And I'm not sure that's a bad thing. I don't think the maps are that out of proportion. You look at the Illinois map, we have nothing, even now, have nothing compared to that. Is it drawn for purely partisan reasons? Sure. But is that necessarily a bad thing? I'll let you decide. But I'm not sure it's a bad thing. If you get a Curtis Gregory in Congress, that's a good thing for this state.
Yeah, and for the country. It's a 2-vote swing.
Of reality, it wasn't done here.
Well, and again, it just goes back to show leadership. And President Trump's leadership is amazing, and I appreciate it. And I think that's a fantastic thing that is going in. And I think changing this map makes all the sense in the world. I really think, though, is a great example. I think that especially with former Governor Parson, where there was almost no leadership from the governor's office at all, Kehoe has been very respectful of the legislative process.
That's pretty harsh on Parson.
But it's true.
I'm sorry, Peter. Which tax cut wasn't leadership from the governor's office? Which total banning of all abortions wasn't leadership from the governor's office? Look, I will give you this. Mike Parson didn't go on Facebook and whine as much as suburban Republicans do. And yeah, he wasn't an order taker. There's a fact. The state had a pretty successful 6 years under Governor Parson. I think Governor Kehoe's doing a heck of a job. I think this was a distraction. And again, the outcome may be just fine, maybe not. That's what we'll see. I tend to think, I'll just ask you, Jennifer, do you think the people of this state vote for this map, or do they reject it? Because I would say it's more than likely they reject this map, in my view.
They don't have to vote for it if they don't get the signatures properly to put it on the ballot. It's already done.
Do you think the folks want this? Do you think the folks will vote for this? I'm a little pessimistic that they will.
Well, because we don't have initiative petition reform, probably it could be close.
You don't need reform to say it's something popular. Does it have the majority of the citizens of the state behind
Hopefully, yeah. I think with Trump backing it and Trump winning the state, yes, it would win. It would.
Okay, well,
we could win it.
Then everything will be just as you'd like it.
We don't need to have everyone vote on everything, though. It's like the legislature's job to do the maps.
Well, they chose not to. They let someone in Washington do these maps, but I do think there's no problem making folks in the Republican Party go out to the public of this state, maybe even beyond just their party constituency, and convince folks this is a good idea. I see nothing wrong with that. I'm a little pessimistic that they could get that done, but if they make this a priority and get behind it, I like to see a battle of ideas. I think that's a good thing. And I think it has a good shot to pass, although I have to say, I mean, right now, I didn't see a lot of enthusiasm outside of the suburbs for this map. So we'll see. I'm a little pessimistic that it passes the public scrutiny, but I think public scrutiny is a good thing. I think it's a very fine thing to have both sides put their view, their map up, and let the public decide. I think those are good things. I don't see a problem with that. I don't think you should, if you have to hide your ideas from the public, maybe your ideas aren't that great.
Scott, what about the other big issue out there? If the voters went to vote the abortion ban again today, what would happen?
I think it's going to be close. I think there's a little bit of an oasis or a mirage. The pro-life camp did a great job in the last referendum last year of closing the gap. I think it was close to double digits. They really worked hard. Governor Keogh came in and did some fundraising. The churches, you got to give Missouri Right to Life credit. They narrowed that gap at the end to 3 points maybe. Although I think that they may find it is much easier in Missouri to get a no than a yes. There will be funded opposition to this. I think that any time you start a ballot measure in the state of Missouri and you need the yes and the other side is funded, you start off kind of as the underdog. So in my view, because of past history, pro-life starts off as the underdog here. We'll see just how well funded the pro-choice side is. History would show they will be pretty well funded. The thing, John, I would ask you is, when have you ever seen the side wanting the yes, if they get outspent significantly, let's say 2-1 even, if you're outspent 2-1, getting a yes is hard. They have their work cut out for them, and I think you have to say take the issue out of it. Any possible ballot measure, if you need a yes and you start off with the other side outfunding you, you start off as the underdog, and I think that's where the pro-life cause starts off. Certainly doable, but I think they start off honestly as the underdog.
Thank you very much, Scott Vaughn, Missouri Times, exclusively right here on Wake Up Missouri. Coming up, Jennifer and I are going to debate about Mike Parsons' ineffectiveness and effectiveness, whatever you may think. That's next, right here on Wake Up Missouri.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
Wake Up Missouri. It is Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiel. My name is John Marsh. We're in for Stephanie Bell.
You just said your name is John Marsh.
Did I say my name is John Marsh? You know what?
Enough.
I look up to him as an elder statesman, as an important part of this cog. No, I'm Peter Thiel in for Randy Tobler. And I like saying Tobler. It's a good name to say.
Well, I have a topic idea for us.
Yes.
Do you see this? The head of Kansas's Eisenhower Library has been forced out over Trump's demand for a museum sword, according to the Kansas City Star. Todd Arrington, director of the Dwight D. Eisenhower Presidential Library Museum and Boyhood Home in Abilene, Kansas, was pressured to resign on Thursday by the Trump administration over his inability to allow the president to give a sword, a museum artifact, as a gift to King Charles III of Britain. Arrington said that he was excited because he worked on alternate gift ideas for King Charles in the recent visit. But once they got back, they're like, okay, but you got to go.
Yeah, here's the deal about remember when Barack Obama became president, his gift to the Queen?
I don't remember that.
He gave DVDs.
Oh, the iPod. No, he gave an iPod.
Yeah, with his speeches in it.
No, with his favorite song. Or was it his speeches?
No, he put in his speeches that he had made on it.
Huh.
And so,
I don't know. Well,
generally
fact check
speaking,
that.
in the United States, in the Oval Office, the Brits gave to us a long time ago a bust of Winston Churchill. For whatever reason, at some point, the Democrats didn't like Winston Churchill anymore, besides winning World War II and winning against a real threat called fascism instead of the imaginary fascism that they say today and have no understanding of what it means. So why did the Democrats all of a sudden have a big hate for Winston Churchill in the Oval Office?
I don't
Marsh,
know.
You've been around a long time. Help us out here.
Solid gold toilet at the palace that was a place of his birth. I have no idea.
I don't know what the whole hate of Winston Churchill is. You give to our most trusted allies amazing gifts. And King Charles III, his mother was a huge fan of the United States, great relationships with our presidents, even though we no longer have a president that's embarrassing by handing over an iPad with his speeches.
Well, the requested sword that Trump wanted to give to King Charles III was given to Eisenhower in 1947 by Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they thought that this would be a great gift. Well, one thing I was thinking about this is I'm sure King Charles has plenty of swords. Well, that's kind of the Brits thing.
They're big into swords.
America's young enough that we had guns early on over here, so give him a gun or something. But apparently, it looks like the Trump administration was more miffed over the fact that this director of the Presidential Library was allegedly telling too many people about this whole process. And so that I got crossways with Sergio Gore, who is heading up administrative personnel. And so they asked him to resign. What do you think? That's right?
Yeah, I think it's great.
Apparently there's a law that says the Presidential Records Act of 1978 makes it illegal to use artifacts given to presidential libraries as gifts. So he said, I was just following the law. So they're saying, well, I guess it's not because you wouldn't give over the sword. It's because you're too blabby. You're blabbing to too many people about this whole gift-giving process.
And again, the idea here is that giving artifacts back and forth between states, between allies, this type of thing is not uncommon. In fact, it's the huge. You don't show up and give them like a gift card to Olive Garden. Here, Charles. Next time you come to the United States, we got a $50 gift card to enjoy the Olive Garden.
Get your deal on the chicken parm there, Chuck.
Yeah, all those breadsticks. You gotta love that. Love breadsticks? Who doesn't? It's America. You're listening to Wake Up Missouri. Jennifer Bukowski, Peter Thiel, right here for Randy and Stephanie on the Zimmer Radio Network. John Marsh is here, so you know the party can get going, and producer Drake, all in the house for you today. The big story over the weekend is that former NFL quarterback Mark Sanchez got stabbed. Yeah. That was the first report. Stabbed outside a bar in Indianapolis. Well, yeah, he was stabbed, but apparently he originally, if you believe the allegations, decided to assault a 70-year-old truck driver and beat him up pretty good. And the pictures of the truck driver in the hospital are pretty doggone painful. And
apparently, so a 69-year-old guy who was out by loading dock, and he claims that Sanchez, who's 38, former NFL guy, came up and started attacking him. He maced him, or pepper sprayed him, and then he was still coming at him and got his knife out and stabbed him multiple places.
Yeah, and he drove a truck, by the way, that was a grease truck, is the truck driver. The hospital pictures are just terrible. And they said Sanchez smelled of alcohol and speech. Now, I worked in New York when Mark Sanchez was the quarterback of the New York Jets. His most famous play, Jennifer, here's the football trivia for you, was what?
I have no idea.
John Marsh, do you know the most famous play of Mark Sanchez's career?
Boy, it escapes me.
The butt fumble.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And so it was, he ran into an offensive lineman of his own team and fumbled and blew the game. So Mark Sanchez.
12:30 a.m., October 4th, in downtown Indianapolis in an alley. He was reportedly there to serve as a broadcaster and an analyst for Fox Sports NFL game. And a 69-year-old man, a truck driver. Yeah, they had an altercation. Sanchez allegedly grabbed and threw the man towards a wall. The man pepper sprayed Sanchez, he says, in self-defense. The man claims that because Sanchez continued advancing, he believed his life was in danger and stabbed Sanchez 2 or 3 times. Sanchez sustained stab wounds to his upper right torso. And the other party, the 69-year-old, had sustained a facial laceration cut and was treated. Well, you know, if you have a guy attacking you in an alley, you have the privilege of self-defense.
Correct. You absolutely do.
But what is going on? This is a talented, NFL broadcaster with a lot to lose. What in the world was he doing attacking a random truck driver in an alley at 12:30 a.m. in Indianapolis? Was he on drugs? Was he drugged? Was he, out of his mind on alcohol? Like, something is off about this story.
Well, Mark Sanchez does not have the reputation, from at least what I've been around, as being a guy who was drunk. He did not have that reputation at all. Now, the idea here is that anything after midnight is never good. Just as you're out at the bars past midnight, not good. That being said, apparently he was acting very erratically. Apparently was doing wind sprints in an alley. The way that Mark Sanchez, that it comes across to me, is that he was on drugs, and whether he took the drugs himself or was drugged, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, but it's
generally speaking, it's
surprising though. He gets stabbed, and he's the one that ends up getting charged with battery. So the police must be believing the truck driver's version of events here. There must be witnesses or video to corroborate it.
How many years has Sanchez been retired?
Oh, I think
he's 38 right now.
I think he's been out for about 6 years, but he has built up quite an expertise. He shows up on sports programs on TV to talk about the NFL games. He breaks down quarterback play. I've seen him on various things over the last few years. He's terrific. And so it just seems to me that, talk about weird behavior. And again, I don't know Sanchez at all. But generally
apparently
speaking,
the argument started over where the guy's truck was parked.
Okay.
Parking, I will tell you what, being a criminal defense attorney, you would be amazed at how often parking gives rise
to hate,
to disputes, to violence. People are very picky about their parking places, being blocked in, getting towed, all of that stuff. People can get heated real quick over that, including yours truly.
Now, if somebody's in your spot, Jennifer, if you generally have a spot that you normally go to. I've always noticed here at our home base, but people are married to parking spots.
Yeah, if I've been blocked, I used to have to park in an alley downtown, and I got blocked in by a rock band. Actually, the guy was called I forget what his name was, Deaf Killer, Triple Killer, or something. Anyway,
it's a nice Christian group.
Yeah. Well, apparently he went by this nickname because he had his girlfriend abort his triplet babies.
Oh, God.
Yeah, awful. And then that's how you're known. Anyway, blocked me in, and I posted a picture of it, but I wouldn't be going up to him and starting an altercation with him over, or anyone associated with that truck in an alley. But I'm not a former football player either.
Now, he was out there apparently doing sprints back and forth. Mark Sanchez
I haven't seen that reported. Where have you seen that?
I got that from the New York Post.
Okay.
And which seems to me to be a sign of something that you may be apparently a little over the top. There's something here going wrong.
So was he doing the sprints and then he was mad because the guy is blocking where he could sprint?
I think that's one of the guesses.
Huh.
And so, again, I don't know the full details there. And there's going to be many more details that'll be coming up. TMZ's been all over it, of course, as they should be. And even though it's out of the 30-mile zone.
But it's a TMZ story.
Yes.
Sure.
I often just sort of look at this. There's Sanchez. He's making a ton of money. It just seems to me that
he's a pretty good color guy, too.
Yeah, really good.
He said that the victim did not have his hearing aids in because his truck is very loud. So when he's exchanging the frying oil for the hotel, so he had to lean in close to Mr. Sanchez to hear him. So I don't know, maybe Mr. Sanchez thought the guy was coming at him. But at that time, that's when he smelled the alcohol and noticed that his speech was slurred.
Yeah,
he's 6'2", 230 pounds. This Fox News broadcaster, Mr. Sanchez. Wow.
Again, I venturing there's more to the story. I have a feeling that he was drugged in the bar, probably as a robbery suspect, as someone trying to go through, we have a famous guy in our bar. Somebody threw in a roofie, threw in something.
Xanax or
whatever that is. And the behavior that, and again, I saw the one report where Sanchez apparently was outside running sprints in the alley. My guess is if that's true and that was going on, that's very unusual behavior, usually for somebody that's had a few drinks. I don't know. I've had a couple of beers in my life, a couple of cocktails. John, Jennifer, I've not been at a point where after hanging out with buddies at the watering hole and having a couple. Generally,
you want to do wind
sprints
is not something I want to do sober or drunk or at any time, really. It sounds pretty miserable.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's normal style behavior for someone who's just had a couple of drinks.
I bet I probably should do wind sprints, but not my idea of a good time.
Not at 12:30 in the morning in an alley behind a bar
or
in the strange
city. Or at 7 in the morning or noon, ever.
Yeah, the only thing he was famous for before this was usurping Brett Favre's record for being the most fumbling quarterback in the history of the NFL after the butt fumble.
Yeah,
oh boy!
It's again, it's just a weird case, and it's a lesson to us all, by the way.
Well,
Don't
his
be at the bar
defense
after
attorney
midnight.
needs to be getting tox screen done on him if that is suspected. If it's probably too late because that stuff clears your system so fast. But they need to be getting surveillance footage from inside wherever he was, so you can see whether or not someone slipped him something. If that's going to be a defense.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And again, it's just the most bizarre thing. First thing you go through it and you read the news story that somebody famous has been stabbed. We live in a place in a world now of more violence going on, just seemingly random violence and politically. You looked at that thing last week during Rosh Hashanah where a feller named Jihad.
Yeah,
in
his
Britain.
parents named him Jihad.
It's And so Jihad went from there. Hey, Sam, you are on Wake Up Missouri with Jennifer and Peter.
Three things. First of all, when you ask what's Mark Sanchez known for, I was raising my hand. I call it the butt handoff instead of the butt fumble. But I knew that one. And did you realize that, of course, when he was quarterback for the Jets, Rex Ryan was the coach.
Yes.
And Rex Ryan had a tattoo of Mark Sanchez put on his body, is what his wife disclosed.
What? Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because of how good Mark Sanchez was as a quarterback.
I'm sorry, that's weird.
There's another bad decision. And then finally, a shout out to Drake because his team got beaten. And I'm just wondering how many times have the Buffalo Bills beaten the Chiefs in the playoffs?
A lot. In fact, the Buffalo Bills will screw it up somehow. Sam, thank you very much for the call. And yes, it's to make fun of Drake and his expert prognostications with sports is always welcome right here on Wake Up Missouri. Peter Thiel, Jennifer Bukowski, John Marsh. We're in for Randy
Feel free
Tobler
to make fun of Josh Allen, too.
And Stephanie Bell. He's a good guy. He's a good guy. What do we have coming up, John?
We have coming up, you think you hate traffic cops?
7:51 right here, Wake Up Missouri, right here on the Zimmer Radio Network.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
John Jennings of Fairview Heights, Illinois, told the Fairview Heights police officer whose car he had just rear-ended that he did it because, quote, I was bored and I hate cops.
Oh, boy.
You see, that's at least an excuse.
He's trying.
And again, idle hands, what? They're the devil's workshop.
That's right. And on September 24th, as Officer Travis Montgomery stopped a different car for expired license plates.
Is he in Columbia?
No, but he easily could have been. Metro East. Jennings drove his 2018 Camaro in the back of Montgomery's squad car, promptly charged with criminal damage to government-supported property and 1 count of aggravated assault.
Yeah.
When asked what was up, Jennings admitted that he, quote, consumed alcohol and weed gummies and reiterated, I just hate cops.
Well,
you see, now
he's given his criminal defense attorney a lot to work with there.
So Jennifer, a little tip here. Jennifer Bukowski, I'm Peter Thiel, and for Randy Tobler, Stephanie Bell, John Marsh is here. It's Wake Up Missouri. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Wake Up Missouri YouTube channel is awesome. That being said, I just speaking with one criminal defense attorney, Jennifer Bukowski. If someone gets pinched, if you're being pinched by the cops, you don't say anything, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're in an interrogation room, you need to ask for an attorney and keep your mouth shut till you talk to one. But if you're being pulled over, I highly recommend against ramming the police car. That's going to turn a traffic stop into an assault charge.
So ramming a police car is bad.
By saying you did it because you hate the cops. You're saying that you're targeting them because they're a cop. That's going to have other implications potentially depending on what state. Then you are also admitting to being on all these substances while driving your car into a police car. That guy, they don't like it when you hit the cops' cars intentionally. I'll tell you what. I've had one case for a guy just barely tapped a cop on a motorcycle. They had half the police department show up to his sentencing.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, not good.
It's and you look at the idea of the whole process of committing crimes, which Marsh and I were hanging out on Friday, and that's all we kept talking about. And so you go to target cops. It's just not a win.
Yeah.
That's not a win for anybody from there.
Yeah. We have an update on traffic. Brian Hauswirth
to see the humor, right?
Yeah.
Traffic is backed up on northbound Highway 63 in the Columbia area. Boone County Joint Communications tells 93.9 The Eagle that there's a crash on northbound Highway 63 at Old Millers Road. Avoid the area.
All right. It's there's so many alternatives to 63 if you're driving from Jeff City to Columbia. I've
been looking for alternatives to 63 just because I'm sick of driving through this. Yeah, it's windy. Yeah. Unless you really want to go west or whatever or farther east, there's not much.
If you want, but again, if you go over and you're like in Jeff City wanting to go to Columbia, so you go, I'm going to go the Kingdom City, Mexico route. And then you get caught up in all the traffic on 70. It's not a win.
Yep.
Not a win whatsoever.
And the Boonville route and come through the boonies.
Oh, that's not a long way around or anything, but yeah, you could.
Or you could go to Herman and over
through
that
Sedalia. How about that?
I often like to go, you know what? Let's just go see Sedalia. It's awesome. They've got the state fair there. Yeah, it's not going on right now, but taking that roundabout trip and taking an extra 45 minutes to 2 hours, seems like a good idea.
Well, 63 backed up at that area.
So be careful. And again, it's Monday morning. There's a lot of traffic and stuff going on. Be careful. Take extra time on the road. There's no reason to worry about getting there too early unless you're Drake Whitman and showing up late for work. Then, yeah, break all the speed laws.
That was a joke.
Drake, is that a joke?
I will not comment with an attorney present, nor with police listening. So
okay,
no comment.
All right, Drake always follows the speed limit, and I think that's awesome. Man,
Jordan Peterson was near death. Did you see this?
Yeah, it's I don't. He's one of my heroes, along with Dennis Prager, and both of them have been very, very ill.
Yeah.
So it's lots of stuff going on. Coming up, a professor had a pellet gun outside a synagogue.
Harvard professor,
from Harvard, of all places, and they're trying to figure out what to do with the feller. He's on leave. We'll have the details coming up. Wake Up Missouri on the Zimmer Radio Network.
It's your morning addiction.
To give health care to illegal aliens again.
Wake Up Missouri with Stephanie Bell.
Raised by a good family, a good girl.
The Zimmer News Team.
If you didn't do your job in business, you didn't get paid.
And now introducing your host, Randy Tobler.
It's Thiel in for Tobler. It's Jennifer Bukowski in for Bell. John Marsh in for John Marsh. It is Wake Up Missouri, where the world seems to be falling apart. A visiting professor at Harvard Law School, decided on Rosh Hashanah it would be a good time to go out with his pellet gun and be near a synagogue and tell people as he's shooting things, I'm rat hunting, which rats were frequently used as an ethnic slur to people who were Jewish, especially by the Nazis back in the day. This guy's from Brazil, the home of many of Nazi expatriates.
Wow. Visiting Harvard professors are really just winning some wonderful headlines for Harvard this week. This is just days apart from them announcing that they hired visiting Professor Lahore Vagistan to teach about drag ethnocentricities or
ethnocentric drag queens or something?
Some sort of 2 different courses involving drag.
Well, and as they should. And let's face it, that's the most important way to build our society for a great future. Let's pay attention to drag queens instead of
study that.
Yeah, instead of engineering, the
and
sciences.
How we should,
or law professors shooting car windows out.
Yes.
Yeah. I've watched clips of Lahore Vagistan, drag queen, visiting Harvard professor, talking about how it's more than just makeup and hair and dress. No, that's pretty much what drag is. It's wearing a dress and makeup. But no, it applies to everything and how you use your body. They just want to broaden drag to cover everything so that it means nothing except embracing the weirdness.
So it's essentially now they've determined that words mean zero.
Who's in charge of vetting these visiting professors at Harvard? Even by Harvard standards, they're doing a bad job.
Yes, it's. Are you an anti-Semite? We want to know.
Finn, you're hired.
Yeah, that probably is. And
are you going to behave erratically and make headlines on Fox? You're hired.
Do you love America? No, you don't.
Oh,
welcome.
Okay. Welcome. What courses can you talk about? What statutes we can tear down and how we're built on slavery and all the rest. Yeah, this hating America shtick has gotten very tiresome.
There was a comment from the cops that said, well, we don't really have any reason to believe this was anti-Semitic.
Okay,
well, what would it take for it to be anti-Semitic?
Oh, he has to actually hit a Jewish person then, or what?
Yeah, well, again, just
swastika
a little
banner or something?
A helpful front. One would hope that a college professor is kind of busy, and if all of a sudden they're out on a vacation day, and a lot of schools take days off during high holy days for different religions, including Judaism and obviously Christianity. I am guessing. I have never taken out the pellet gun to go shoot rats in a neighborhood. John, have you?
Statute of limitations, counselor, but no.
You haven't? Jennifer, you've not?
Well, luckily, I don't live in one of these disgusting cities that have rats, but what are you doing? What are you doing with a gun like that? It looks like a gun.
Yes.
Okay. You're in an urban area near a synagogue, and at least, unlike that other guy that John talked about, that will be all except for this, where he ran the cop car and said it's because I hate cops, and by the way, I'm drunk and on drugs. At least this guy's coming up with something for his criminal defense attorney to work with. Oh no, I wasn't trying to terrorize the Jews. I was looking to shoot rats. That's just a public service. Like, you're giving your criminal defense attorney something to work with, so much so that they haven't arrested the guy because they can't.
We do that all the time back home in Brazil.
Yeah. And their delicacy.
Well, but probably in that community, they probably have one of these Soros prosecutors who probably wouldn't charge him anyways because he was fighting the patriarchy or something. It's
the holiest day on the Jewish calendar.
I know.
And you choose this to go shoot. I
rats.
mean, granted, like, I will say, I don't always know when the holiest day of the Jewish calendar is going to be. Like, I don't mark my calendar with that stuff. I don't keep track of it, so maybe he didn't know. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
I guarantee you he knew because there was probably a day off for his students.
No, at Harvard?
A lot of those high holy days, they take days off.
They don't get the Jewish holidays off.
Okay. All right.
But, that's a bad day to be wielding a gun around a synagogue. Every synagogue in the world right now is on high security alert because of all the attacks on the trees.
Lucky security guard didn't blast him.
Right? Yeah. Because it's hard to tell a pellet gun at a distance or whatever. You only have a certain amount of time to respond. Oh, luckily, he must not have been brandishing it in that threatening of a manner towards humans.
Yeah, well, maybe
but
that's
I would like to see these rats.
But he did shoot some car windows out.
Yeah, and so Harvard has suspended him.
As they should. And by the way,
car windows. What rat were you aiming at that you shot out a car window, by the way?
And by the way, I took a look at the holiday schedule for Harvard, and yes, Jennifer, you were right. They didn't take Rosh Hashanah off. But
it was Yom Kippur, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rosh Hashanah, and there's Yom Kippur was just around the same time. Rosh Hashanah is the Happy New Year. Jewish New Year.
Which one was this guy shooting rats? Or
I think it was Rosh Hashanah.
Okay.
And
no, Eve of Yom Kippur. That's the big one. Yom Kippur is their biggest one.
So again,
even though Hanukkah ends up getting more special treatment because of its proximity to Christmas, but religiously it's not as big of a holiday.
Well, it's like for Christians, Christmas gets all the stuff, but Easter's the big holiday.
Yeah.
And
I would think that students at Harvard would probably get Palestinian Independence Day off.
I've never heard anyone claim that. Easter's a bigger deal,
sure it is.
You think?
Sure it is.
Then why do we celebrate Christmas so much harder?
We should celebrate Easter more because what's the deal that happens at Easter?
He rises, but he's born, so you're celebrating the beginning of Jesus being here with Christmas.
Yes, but rising from the dead, conquering death for all mankind. That's pretty big.
That's right. So what do you want, an Xbox or a big thing of chocolate Easter eggs is basically what it comes down to.
Yes. It's. Do you want, what do you want for your holiday? Do you want the Xbox, John, or do you want the chocolate?
That's right. So, if it's Christmas, you might get the Xbox, but if it's Easter, you're going to get the Cadbury cream eggs.
And by the way, it's, and I may be wrong here, so right here on Wake Up Missouri, if you want to text us and let us know, but I think that Easter should be bigger than Christmas. 573-874-9390. But your thoughts?
Pretty much what Christianity's all about is what happened on Easter.
Correct. I
just have always heard that Jewish people talk about how Hanukkah isn't really that big of a holiday, but it gets celebrated way more outsized amounts because of Christmas. But I'd never heard someone make the point about, maybe I have, but I just can't remember it, that Easter's more important than Christmas.
Yeah, and the deal is, especially for folks who are Jewish, is that some Jewish families just go all in on the holiday thing. They'll put up the Christmas tree and the whole deal. Mm-hmm. So there you go. So you are listening to Wake Up Missouri, and you're dealing with a couple of the real good friends in the world. You got Jennifer Wachowski, John Marsh. I'm Peter Thiel, and we are in for Stephanie Bell and Randy Tobler. Randy will be back with Jennifer mañana, and that's Spanish for tomorrow. Like Spanish? Big on the Spanish?
Sí.
All
Me gusta español.
How's your Spanish, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, by the way, in Spanish. A little helpful hint.
I think people know that.
Español, un poquito.
Yeah.
Un poquito, sí. Yeah, so we're going to have to know a lot of Spanish because Bad Bunny is going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show, which is going to be upsetting everybody. And
so it's another year where I used to tune in kind of for the halftime show, because it's a big act. It's some, Katy Perry or someone. It'd be a cool show.
Janet Jackson.
I had no idea who that person was last year, so I had no interest. I didn't watch it.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar.
Like, I have no interest in watching it.
Okay, just to show maybe the
I watched the game because Chiefs were in it.
Maybe
but I didn't care about the halftime.
Jennifer, there may be a generation gap happening with you.
Yeah.
Because
maybe I'm starting to be one of these old people.
Yeah.
But Bad Bunny, I have no idea what he even sings.
It's Kendrick Lamar, who is a huge star. Since the highest TV ratings for a Super Bowl halftime show.
Last year's was so dumb. I did see part of it. It was so dumb.
That highest ratings for a TV halftime show since Michael Jackson.
I'm fact-checking that because that cannot be true.
It's Kendrick Lamar. Tell us, Drake, how big is Kendrick Lamar among your people?
He's probably one of the most popular artists that my generation listens to.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that they chose Kendrick Lamar because they wanted to bring more of a younger audience because the NFL has a relatively older listening or watching base, and I think they're doing the same thing here with more worldwide people to bring them into this.
Yeah, and the other thing having to do with the NFL, they've been supplanted by 18 to 34-year-old men, which used to always watch the NFL. Now they're watching the NBA. And
what?
Yes, the ratings for NBA games frequently during season are the number one thing on TV.
I'm going to fact check that too.
Yeah, men 18-34. That's where that demo is. Fact
You're
check
right.
me.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar show drew about 133.5 million. Michael Jackson in 1993 at 133.4 million. So he even had more than Michael Jackson.
Yep.
So I don't know what he sings either. I'm not that into the music, obviously.
Yeah, well, and you are listening to Wake Up Missouri. Coming up, we're going to have the beloved Morning Bell. No Stephanie. Uncle Peter will have your stock market information. That comes up on the Zimmer Radio Network.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
right here on Wake Up Missouri. I'm Peter Thiel in for Stephanie Bell. Kind of big news. AMD has announced a major partnership with OpenAI for AI computing infrastructure. This is the current gold rush that's having to do with your stocks, having to do anything with AI right now. It's number 2 stock market, by the way. Futures are up 95 points on Dow Jones Industrial. NASDAQ futures are up 202 points over this news. S&P 500 futures up just 21 points early on. Bitcoin, by the way, over the weekend hit $125,000 per coin. They're just shy of that right now at $124,900 per coin. It's Ethereum is up as well. Sheeb, your Sheeb coin, your Dogecoin are up as well. So going through right from there, and wealthy investors are tapping ETFs for hot assets. So those are some of the things that you'll want to look forward to as we watch the market today. That's your morning bell.
That AMD stock went crazy, didn't it?
Yes. As it should. If you're, that's where the game is being played right now. It's having to do with tech, having everything to do with artificial intelligence, and that's a real important thing to have in place. So there you go. And we'll keep that in the deal. We've been talking a little bit about this visiting professor to Harvard, who was arrested while walking near a synagogue with a pellet gun, saying he was hunting rats
and shooting out car windows.
Yeah, it seems like perfect for the. Isn't Harvard under a lawsuit right now for allowing anti-Jewish activity on campus?
Yeah.
Yep.
This does not do well for
their... Well, they've suspended the visiting professor, though, even though he wasn't arrested, though you're saying that he shot out windows. That's puzzling. Anyhow, to their credit, they did suspend him, and they're investigating it.
Yes. And again...
But they also hired Lahore Vagistan. I think to just troll us, honestly.
It's
like the resistance is still alive. Let's pick someone who's going to be just so ridiculously obnoxious that he'll definitely get on Fox News, and they found someone to hire for that very purpose.
But I will tell you, the people, though, that are dealing with these Ivy League schools, they smell way too much of their own exhaust, and they think of themselves as way more important. They don't look at Fox News. They're listening to public radio and watching MSNBC, and that's what they do. And they have very little understanding of what happens in the real world. If you actually spoke to your average Harvard academia type person on their staff as a professor,
so you think they did this because they actually think this is good curriculum?
They think it's great. They think it's fantastic. If you ask them... I was
thinking that they're trying to be like Trump and troll us.
If you go in and you talk about the idea of going to Waffle House and sitting at the counter there and talking with the great unwashed, these people go, oh, I would never do that. No, why don't you go do that? You'd find out, oh, these people are really smart. Oh, these people are well-read. Shockingly well-read.
Well, if they haven't taken the root politics, drag, race, and desire. That's spring semester. This fall, Queer Ethnography, a class exploring ethnographic methods in relation to bodies, pleasure, power, desire, and queer culture.
Marsh, you in for that? Does sound like a good class.
Can we audit it?
I'm signing up for the Taylor Swift class at Mizzou in the spring.
Oh, nice. They're going to have one?
Yep.
That's good. That's
She's
good.
classy, at least.
Well, not that classy. All right, coming up, more with Wake Up Missouri and the Zimmer Radio Network. Marsh. And for Marsh, I'm Peter Thiel. I'm in for Randy Tobler. And Randy will be back tomorrow, but Jennifer will be with us. So you want to know how government controls our lives. If you start a business, Jennifer, it's on you. If you wanted to start a business, and it was on you whether it was going to work or not, correct?
Yep.
In New York, they're turning down new liquor licenses because they say that booze sales have fallen off. So essentially, the state is saying we're not handing out new liquor licenses because
to protect people who already have them. Basically,
yes.
That's ridiculous.
And
that kind of stuff drives me crazy.
And it's mainly because on certain industries, especially these high regulation states like California and New York, they can turn down new permits to do something. Number one, to protect the big ones. Number two, because they're looking at government receipts. They're going, well, if those receipts are going down, why don't we approve things that give more money? They're crediting or discrediting, whatever you want to say, the booze plummet on weed, legalized weed. And, of course, every state, in New York especially, they say most of the quote-unquote places to buy weed are actually illegal. They're actually non-licensed storefronts that are selling marijuana.
Well, I wonder why, because it's way cheaper probably.
Probably way cheaper.
There you go.
And there was that story, I don't know, a couple of years ago. They were saying that more illegal marijuana is sold in Colorado today than it was when it was illegal.
Yeah, interesting.
Wasn't that the big argument?
How would they know?
All these people are smoking weed.
How do they measure that, though? Like, how are they tracking that? It's not like the illegal drug dealers are going to be giving them stats on, oh, here's our inventory, here's our revenue numbers.
Well, we have someone who says he's an expert. Drake, go ahead.
Oh, that's crazy.
That was defamatory.
Yeah, that's. You will be hearing from my attorney, Jen. But no, I was going to say, like, not only is it a price thing, but have you ever been into a dispensary before?
No. What is that like?
Yet.
Oh, my gosh. It is the worst thing ever. They, like, put you in a waiting room and they, like, check your ID and then they send you in one by one. And it's just, like, the worst. If you want to have a terrible time, go to a dispensary. That's what you guys
and they do like a sales thing, and do they
then all the taxes you have to pay?
Lay out, here's all our choices, like a dessert cart or what?
They don't even do that. Like, I've been to one that has like an iPad where you like select what you want and then they bring it from the back. And then there was another that was just like, it was all in the back and they had nothing on display. You had no clue what they had.
Huh.
Yeah, no, not efficient, not fun.
What were you looking for?
Pack of J's.
Okay.
I'm joking. I feel like I should tell you that I'm joking. No,
all right.
Night gummies.
Okay. All right. Very good. Not the vaporizer.
He had plans to run into
all around town.
Yeah, he had plans to run into a cop car later that night.
That's right, and talk about his love of the police.
That's right.
We had a story earlier today where there was a feller who he hit a cop car and he said, "I hate cops." And he had been chewing on the weed gummies and had been drinking the booze as well, among other things.
Those two things do not mix well. Yeah. You're not one or the other. That's the recommendation.
Okay, very good. It's I now know that. And so that's
we're going to hold you to it now.
That's correct. I will not do weed and booze at the same time.
We could be like Joe Rogan and like light up doobies on Wake Up Missouri. I'm sure that would go over well with our audience.
Yeah, I don't smoke.
I don't either. And I think it's rude, quite frankly.
Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
Yeah, like when I was very young, unfortunately.
Marsh?
It was dumb.
Oh, yeah.
How long did you smoke?
10 years.
Yeah, I smoked for about 20.
Whoa, that's not good. Don't tell the insurance companies that. You're hired to insure. But I think it's rude to smoke marijuana today because they could do a gummy, they could do a vape, they could do all these other things. Why do I, when I'm walking in major cities, have to smell the skunkiest, most disgusting pot ever during the middle of a business day?
Yeah, when not the last trip to Las Vegas, a trip before, went over with and had the buffet at the Riviera. They have a seafood buffet.
It's not just Vegas for sure. It's like that.
And it was, that entire hotel just smelled like weed.
It's Vegas, it's New York, it's D.C., it's everywhere. It's gross. Like, I used to have to, like, hide it a little bit, go off and do it, skulk in some corner and do it. But now they're just doing it flagrantly in the middle of work days, and it smells terrible. If you're going to be in public, vape. My friends, vape it.
I've been to D.C., New York, and Las Vegas this year. The only place where I actually really smelled marijuana out in the open was in Vegas.
You didn't smell it in New York?
Nope.
It's everywhere in New York.
No, it was.
I was in New York this year twice, and both times.
You get pretty good lungful of it at a Mizzou.
Yeah, I think I smelled it at the Mizzou game even. Yeah, it's gross.
Probably Jayhawks, but okay.
Yeah.
MIZ. All right, and so there you go. So again, the whole weed thing, and it doesn't smell that pleasant.
I got to start planning my outfit for this weekend because it's Alabama and those people dress up. We gotta get our best outfits going, look classy for Saturday.
I just think
I know everyone else listening, they're really worried about their outfits. My husband, he's just really sitting there thinking, what am I going to wear on Saturday? Not.
You know what? I will go through my T-shirt drawer and pull out my Mizzou jersey.
Yep.
And I've got a Mizzou hat.
Have they announced what color we're supposed to wear yet? Do we know?
I only wear black because it's thinning.
There you go. We've got another Tiger Tailgate coming up this Saturday, too. A bright and early one with an 11 o'clock kickoff against those RTR Tidy Bowl men.
Roll Tide! It's too bad that Vandy didn't win, but...
No, it's good, because now if we beat Alabama, that's a bigger deal.
Okay.
Apparently. This is what I'm informed by my husband. I'm not actually on top of this stuff.
It's Drake, you're our sports expert on Wake Up Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see a way we can win this. There's no top team in the SEC right now. Alabama's had a bad loss. Georgia's had a bad loss. There's not really a big top dog right now. I guess A&M, but even them, they have won very close games, and it was way less than one scores. But, I think that if they can stop Ahmad Hardy, then they're going to learn who Bo Pribula is, and he's going to have a heck of a game. But it just comes down to how our defense plays. It's going to be a shootout. It's going to be great.
Alabama's ranked 8 right now, so that's lower than usual, isn't it? Usually they've been on top.
Yeah, they've been on top. Bama started the season with a loss to Florida State, and then rattled off a bunch of wins. The most impressive win on the road to beat Georgia.
But last year, we went to Alabama on my birthday, and they beat us very, very badly. We got 0 points. 0 points.
Yeah, but only Ole Miss and A&M are undefeated like the Missouri Tigers, so
I'm not going for my birthday to watch them play Vanderbilt this time because last year was too bad.
Yeah.
No more football weekends on my birthday, I decided.
I do,
away games.
I do believe that Mizzou is sneaky good.
I don't think they're getting
enough. I don't think they're getting enough respect. We're supposed to wear gold this weekend.
Yep.
All right. I don't think that. I think Mizzou is sneaky good as far as what the people who make the votes say. I don't think this is a team that should be at 14. I think it's a top 10 team right now, and I think knocking off Bama will cement that.
If we do, knock on wood. Hopefully, that'd be so exciting if we did, though.
And then you get the argument. We've only had one SEC matchup, and Ole Miss has had, I think, 3, and A&M's had 2 conference games. So
we've got a hard schedule that we're looking at heading forward.
Yep.
So again, I'm just I'm in favor tonight. Monday Night Football, Chiefs taking on the
who's supposed to win that?
Chiefs should beat the Jacksonville Jags, and if the Chiefs win, they'll be tied for first place. There was a period there where the Chiefs almost went 0-3. Dropped those first 2 and now seem to have put together a couple of wins. Win tonight, and you will see people be high again on the Chiefs type of stuff. They'll be tied for first place, and will be 3 wins in a row in the NFL is always good. It's a tough thing to go do.
The spread has The Chiefs favored to win against the Jaguars, 3.5 point spread. So it's close.
Yeah.
Isn't that a pretty close spread?
Well, in the NFL,
real close.
Yeah.
NFL, though, most NFL games traditionally are won by 3 points or less. It is anything above 3.5 point favorites really mean that they think that the Chiefs are easily going to win this game.
You think?
Yeah.
Why is it only 3.5 points if they think it's going to be an easy win?
If it's over 3, it's considered a big type win, and because so many games are decided in the NFL by a field goal or less, so it's that is sort of the deal there. I look forward to it. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars figure out ways to lose games, figure out ways to going through. So coming up on
Taylor Swift, we got to talk about her new album. She's talking about Travis Kelce in that thing.
In her thighs.
What?
That's coming up right here on Wake Up Missouri, exclusively on the Zimmer Radio Network. Leftovers coming up.
It's Wake Up Missouri.
His name is John Marsh. All right, starting off with leftovers, let's go off to Drake since he's not prepared. Go ahead.
Wow, that's very kind of you. I wanted to preview this game tonight because I think we're forgetting that Dabo Swinney, his last success was with Trevor Lawrence.
Are we talking about the Chiefs game, right?
Yeah. Chiefs, Jags, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and Trevor Lawrence with the Heisman winner last year. I think
Travis Hunter, yep.
Yep, 3-1 Jaguars. They look great this year.
Wars, there's no I in there.
Jaguars? Jaguars?
Yeah, that's how you say it.
Okay, well, I didn't know. I'm not a jungle cat expert. Sorry.
Okay.
But
just a bird expert.
Yeah, just a bird expert.
Oh,
but
boy.
I'd be...
And diapered ducks.
And diapered ducks, yes, Peter. I think this is a sneaky game that I think that Kansas City, if they're not playing their best ball, will lose.
Oh, boy.
Man.
It'll be a good game, though, to watch.
Jennifer.
Well, Taylor Swift dropped her new album. She also had a movie in theaters over the weekend with a video, music video and other footage that broke box office records, like everything Taylor does. But I'm not a huge Swiftie. I'm not a Swiftie at all. But I requested this, did not get my request from Drake. But I think The Fate of Ophelia is a great song. It's emerging as the top single from that album. It's just a really cool song. And it's basically so romantic because it's kind of about how Travis Kelce saved her and how in love she is with him. And I think that's touching to see, a woman sing so much about loving a man today. It's
so different
wonderful.
for her. Normally she's singing about
usually all the music is complaining about men are terrible or
never get back together.
I love hearing this love song, so I encourage everyone to check out Fate of Ophelia, the new track from Taylor Swift's new album. Dave Portnoy, though, he's a fan of that song and many others, but he's not a fan of the one called Wood because apparently it's about Travis Kelce's member.
Yes,
yeah.
manhood
So
there.
I'm going to be listening to that one next.
All right. John Marsh, what do you have for leftovers?
University of Missouri instructor Michaela Dublin, a PhD candidate and graduate instructor in the English department, taught a Taylor Swift-related class last fall, and she's back with one for the spring. The class offered again English 1160 at Mizzou, Themes in Literature, Taylor's version, and based on Swift's latest music. So if your kid is an English major or an English literature major at Old Mizzou, they're spending your hard-earned tuition dollars learning about Taylor Swift lyrics.
All right. Yeah, so that's nice. That's nice all the way around.
Comparing Swift's messages to the works of Charlotte Bronte, Daphne du Maurier, and F. Scott Fitzgerald.
There's nothing wrong with that. Like getting something that the kids are already super interested in, which is Taylor Swift, and then looking at the literary giants and comparing the two is a clever way of perusing that subject.
Yeah, Taylor Swift and Shakespeare. I've often found that to be, on an equal type thing. I want to bring up Bill Maher. He I'm
becoming a fan of him.
He took on The Wonderful World of Kamala Harris and said instead of 107 days should have been 107 excuses.
Yeah, he did.
The most important part of Bill Maher's take on this is that she ran a terrible campaign, was a terrible candidate, and why have excuses? Everything was wrong. Voters were racist.
He said, you've blamed everyone but yourself. Biden,
correct.
This, that, even though you had $1.5 billion and 78 million people who were going to automatically vote for you anyway, take some of the blame yourself, but he made fun of her for taking none of it.
And also, I loved the story about the cupcakes. And Democrats seem to have done this over and over again. During Hillary Clinton's thing, they put out that thing saying happy birthday to this future president.
Oh, did he talk about that on the show?
He talked about the cupcakes.
I thought it was gross. Her assistant goes and peels off the icing and then sets them out. I hope she washed her hands or wore gloves. I don't want someone peeling icing off my cupcakes and then setting them out for everyone to eat, but they were victory cupcakes.
I'm a gentleman who can be a little suspicious. I have suspicions, I should say. Well, the one thing is I just think the idea of going out and saying ahead of time, congratulations, President, and have those cupcakes ready to go out and you lose, Not a good sign. And obviously the delusion inside the campaign. Or have 2
sets of cupcake or more food. Like just throw out have both prepared.
Yes.
Both. You have to have 2 speeches kind of drafted or thought out a little bit.
But by all accounts,
like they
why
Dewey Beach
include that
Truman
thing that your
cupcakes,
assistant peeled the icing off the cupcakes and then set them out for people to eat? I was grossed out by that.
I was.
They peeled off the thing saying "Madame President" or whatever.
Well, I really believe the Democratic Party knew she was losing. Everybody knew she was losing except for the inner circle of Kamala Harris.
Yep.
Because they were delusional. Gary Nolan is coming up right here. Up next, right here on the Zimmer Radio Network. Libertarian goodness. Have a wonderful day.